Welcome to another Coffee with Joy. I'm your host, Joy. I am so excited and so elated to have my guest, Joy, as we will be talking about the Plus Strut. Keep in mind, just because you're a plus size, that don't mean you can't run. That don't mean you can't do a marathon. Well, the founder who started the Plus Strut, we will definitely talk to her and how did she get into it and what was the action behind it. Stay tuned to after these messages.
Our mission focuses on showcasing local and global talent of all ages on and off the field. We will strive to inspire, educate, and bridge the divides through our media collaboration. Our goal is to give student athletes and coaches the platform to let their talents be seen and a platform for the community to let their voices be heard. This is the Union Media Group.
Welcome back to Coffee with Joy. Now we're going to bring my guest, Joy, as we talk about the Plus Strut. Welcome, Joy. How are you?
Hello, Coffee with Joy. What a coincidence that the Lord decided to ordain us both to bring joy to the world. Amen.
Amen. And keep in mind, people, you're not reading it wrong. We're both Joy. Yes. So, Joy, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, wow. My goodness. I'm a native Ohioan, but I've been living in Atlanta, Georgia for over 20 years now. So I think I got my peach. Okay. I also, listen, little known facts about me. If you know, you know, but I used to do some stand-up comedy a little bit. I've taken to a couple of stages. And then I had done radio for 20 years on and off.
Mm-hmm.
And so here I am trying to figure out act two in life. So here we go.
And you're doing marvelous. I read the
I'm
bio.
trying,
Excellent. Very expensive. Very, very well. I love it. So now let's get into the plus strut. We know society really don't see plus women doing marathons or 5K, 2K. What was the drive behind doing the plus strut?
So I was always the big girl, right? And with my cousins and all that, I was always the big cousin, but not in age, more in size, right? And so my best friend challenged me, I don't know, it's probably 8 years ago now, maybe almost 10 years ago, to do a half marathon. I think she challenged me to do. And so the metrics, right? Some people get them confused. But a 5K is in kilometers. Translating that into miles, it's 3.1 miles. So then a half K would be 62.1 miles, or a 10K or 10 kilometers. And then a marathon would be 26.2 miles. The kilometers on that, I don't really know, but 26.2 miles is long enough for me. And so she had challenged me to do a half marathon. And I thought, you are crazy. I'm big, I'm chubby, all the things that are oxymoronic when it comes to, doing what this whole running, space is about. But she challenged me. We trained, and then she forgot to register us. I was like, girl, this is a dirty trick. This is dirty. But I did a 5K instead, right? So instead of the half marathon, I did a 5K instead. And so while I was there, everybody was really nice. They were very kind. You know, nobody was mean or nasty. But I had trepidation. I was scared because I thought, good Lord, all of these people are thin. They've got ponytails swinging. And I don't look anything like any of them. And my color is
Right.
different. Okay. So this just wasn't a space where I personally felt welcome, not that they weren't welcoming. And then
Right.
my other concern was I'm slow, I'm chubby. I'm gonna be the last person to cross the finish line, and ain't nobody gonna be there with a bottle of water, a
Oh
towel,
no.
you know, where's the bathroom, like all of these things. And so I thought, if I have these concerns and trepidations, I'm certain that there are other women that look like me that might want to try something like this, have these same trepidations, but there aren't enough people that look like us. So I
Right.
thought, if it's to be, it is up to me. And
Right.
let's find a space where other women that are of size, that aren't wallflowers, right? But
Mhm.
want to get into a space that they aren't often seen in. And let's find a happy place, right? And so in 2017, the Plus
Mhm.
Strut was birthed, and we did our first race in 2018.
So now that you started the Plus Strut, how did you convince? Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, team. Yes, let's give a round of applause to the Plus Strut. Yes, people, and we talking about a healthier us. Now we know
Yes.
it's not easy getting people, and I'm not saying size, just people, just to run. You know, much as less to walk, because of course statistics have shown that at least if you walk for 20 minutes, you're pouring into your body, right? You're doing something, but to get out and run. But even if I know it's just run, walk, skip, we're going to do this. Now, how did you get people to really get behind this initiative and really to start the Plus Strut in 2018?
So I think what happens is when you can speak to people and not speak at people. I think that's
Right.
what the disparity has been as it relates to weight loss in general. You know, I
Yeah.
think people have been talked down to, or it's always on the cusp of some health concern. And so it feels forced when
Right.
all along there are people that just want to be, we can be challenged, but challenge me in love, right?
Right.
Don't make me feel like, you know, I'm 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 lesser than, or that I don't have the ability to. And so I think we just spoke to their ability, right?
Right.
Because here's the thing. The one thing, if we don't have any particular ailments or if you don't have any spinal injuries, the one thing we all can do is walk.
Right.
Everybody can walk. I mean, you start
Yeah.
doing that when you're a year old, and you know, we all can walk, right? And so the Plus Strut was it, or is rather, a place where you can do that freely, where we are the organization where we're not rushing you to hurry to the finish line. All we want
Yeah.
you to do is finish. Just
Yeah.
cross the finish line, right? And when you think about, listen, I'm gonna tell my age here, but you know, age is
It's okay.
relative, right? But there's a show called Cheers, and the theme
Yes.
song says, sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name and
You're
they're
right.
always glad you came.
Okay.
Well, we sort of have that mantra, right? Because when you can see another person that looks like you or has been challenged in life the way you may have been challenged, there's
Mhm.
commonality, there's a symbiotic, there's community there. And so we spoke to community, right? We
Yeah.
spoke to, you are like me, and she, if she can, so can I. Um,
Right.
I think the other thing, and I'm sure we'll probably get into this a little bit later, but the statistic is that 68% of the women in the United States are a size 14 and above. That's
Yes.
closer to 100% than it's closer
Yes.
to 0%. So if all
Mhm.
of these women fall into this category, how come we aren't talking to her more about
Right.
this kind of thing? We're not the minority,
Yeah.
we're
By
the
a long shot.
majority by a
Yeah.
long shot. But
Yes.
nobody talks to her. Or if they do
Yes.
talk to her, it's against what is and what the majority represents. And so the thing is that we've all along been talking to that majority woman the wrong way. But we
Yeah.
started to talk to her the right way. And we started to
Amen.
talk to her spirit. We started to talk to um, her inner me's, right? I
Yeah.
mean, look at the woman. If the people are watching, there was a woman on a cane there,
Yeah.
right? But she
Mhm.
can, she's still able. And so we
Yeah.
spoke to that woman who is capable, but she's just not talked to enough. And I think
Yeah.
that's what happened. Yeah.
And you know what? And as you talked about the statistics, of course, I'm into fashion and health. And to add to that, Plunkett, Plunkett research has stated that plus size fashion is number one. And like you stated, we don't talk to her like we supposed to. So we down her or him just because of our size, not knowing
Yes.
that we bring in the money,
Yes.
that we support very hard, and that we don't really pour into us. So I think us need to help us. So I think with the plus strut is phenomenally well. I know that many people probably want to work out, but it's the identity crisis. And as you stated in your story, you know, with your testimony, what you have gone through, a lot of people look and say, I'm not represented here. So why do I need to be here? First, let me go lose the weight and then come, not knowing that you are needed now and not
Very true.
yesterday. You need it now. So when I first saw the plus strut, I was like, why do they have to be in Atlanta? Why can they be in DC? But I said, it's okay. It's okay. They got a
It
friend in
is.
need. They got a friend. They got a friend.
Listen,
They
there's
got
a
a
couple
friend.
of things that you spoke to that I love because, you know, we want people to show up to be who they are, where they
Yes.
are,
Mhm.
as they are. Like you said, sometimes people want to lose weight and then you don't have to
Mhm.
do that at the plus rate. You don't have to
Right.
feel like you got to make any adjustments. If an adjustment comes as a result of you crossing the finish line, see,
Yes.
here's the mentality at the plus drive is that achieving something of this feat for people in this
Mhm.
particular demographic, it begins to unlock other
Yeah.
areas in your life that you may have been challenged in and didn't
Yes.
realize that there was a block there. But when you are actually able to accomplish something to this magnitude, it really then allows you to dream and to dream differently and to dream bigger.
Yeah.
So it unlocks
Yeah.
other things in you that cause you to go, well, I'll be doggone. If I can do this and cross this finish line, then there's some other stuff on this bucket list. Because listen, doing a 5K, doing a marathon, a lot of these things are on people's bucket list. But again,
Yeah.
it's an identity crisis where they don't feel like they can. And so we give you your can. We give you
Yeah.
your can, right?
Yeah.
And to your other point about the fashion industry, I believe it's in the $20 billion range
Yeah.
or so, 15 to 20 billion with the B
It's up
dollars.
there. Yeah.
That's a white space that people
Yes.
just aren't tapping into, or they tap into it timidly when you should be
Yeah.
stepping into it in full force. But never be worried
Yeah.
because the plus strut is going to optimize. Hello,
Right.
we're going to optimize that demographic of people in the best way because these people
Yes.
exist. They just need to be loved on.
And the more that people get to see people like them, is that's really breaking down the barriers. And I know with plus strut, I know health is number one just because of my size. Oh yeah, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna go first, not knowing that health really has no size. Yes, it's equate to it a little, but not to the full circle. But having this community where people can meet new people, knowing that hey, after this we can work out, it brings so many different things. Because just looking at the young ladies as they're crossing, as they're going, they get to see themselves. I see so much strength, I see so much power in it. As we look, it's like wow, I don't feel intimidated. I don't feel I can wear my crop top. I can wear my shorts knowing that hey, we all look alike. I have a friend in need, and definitely after when this is done, I'm going to have me a liaison. I'm going to have a co-partner, and we're going to continue this health journey. And I need people to understand sometimes it's not about losing weight, it's building that lifestyle. And as I'm building that lifestyle, sometimes I need that partner. I need someone who's on the same length as me, same weight, wave, and really pull forward. So now that you're in it, how did you get your team? How did you operate a team to really work to the masses? Because I see you have sponsorship, you have you have the whole decor, you know, the step and repeat banner. It looks phenomenal. Like who would not want to be there? That's number one. Who wouldn't?
I think that's the idea is why not?
Yeah.
Right? Why not? You know, my team consists of other women that are plus size because they understand the struggle. You know, these are women that are in the demo. And so it was, here's the thing, go where you're celebrated and not tolerated. Right. And so
Yeah.
you want to, I tapped into people who understood the struggle. I tapped into
Mhm.
people who wanted to be a part of the change in other people's
Right.
lives. The plus strut is not about me, Joy Tribble. It's not about the
Yeah.
women that are on my team. I have an all women led team as well.
Mhm.
It's not about us. It's about us actually doing the work so that it will
Right.
change the lives of other people. So I found other people who wanted to be catalysts for others,
And
right? And so
right.
that was really important to me because, you know, it wasn't until this year that my team really wanted me to get out front, to sort of be
Yeah.
the talking head, for the organization. That wasn't that important to me. I
Yeah.
wanted the women that attended, they
Mhm.
are who I wanted to be the mantra, the out fronts, you know, um, the martyrs, if you will, of the movement. Just
Right.
because the Lord gave it to me doesn't mean I'm the one that's supposed to carry it all the way through.
Amen.
I was just
Right.
Moses, right? I was
Right.
just that part. But Joshua had to take the people over. You understand?
Oh,
And so
all
that's
right.
Bible folk, if you know your Bible,
Oh,
you know.
yeah. Yes, Bible.
But but it had to be the genesis. Somebody had to be the beginning of it. And
Right.
so I just found other women. A friend of mine, sort of challenged me because in the early stages, it was, listen, when I was doing research before, I found the team. I didn't see women in
Yeah.
running gear. I didn't see women running. I
Yeah.
didn't see I don't want to say women running. I didn't see plus size women running. I didn't see plus
Right.
size women in these. So we actually put out a model call. We put out a brand ambassador
Mm.
call to find women. So we curated our own imagery because there was
Yeah.
nothing there. And I'm like, it
Yeah.
can't be that we're talking about this, but we don't show people what it looks like. Even as it relates to sponsors, the
Yeah.
only way that you can sort of convince somebody to give you some money is to write the vision and to show the vision.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
we had to start from square one. You got to pull in people, that look like what you see in your mind. And so
Right.
that's sort of just what we did. We just went with, hey, this is what we want this to look like. Let's get some
Yeah.
people that look like it. Excuse me,
Mhm.
and create that. And sometimes you have to pull people into your vision before you can actually pay them. Let me just be honest about that,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But then that
Yeah.
means, but that means that, and I'll just give a kudos to myself. That means that I painted the vision well enough
Right.
for somebody to want to come along in the early stages that wanted to be a part. And then
Yeah.
that meant something to me because the Lord
Right.
is like, just build it and they will come. You're waiting
Right.
for the come when you got to
Yeah.
start at the build. Just start
Yeah.
building. And I'm saying that with conviction now, but baby, let me tell you something. Trepidation,
Right.
concern,
And
fear in the beginning. Yeah.
I bring that up because I want people to know that when God placed that vision for you, it's not for you. He starts it, but you need to incorporate people because you are going to get tired. You're going to get weak, you're going to get frustrated. But when you have common like-minded people to be part of you that wants to see the vision grow, it's going to take off. But I trust you. I trust you that's going to happen. But who do I need to come in? So that's the reason why I really asked, who's your team? Because again, we know people come and go, but we know the right people will stay. So as you
That's right.
move, as you go forward and looking for people and then start to determine, because we all have great ideas, but when
Yeah.
two or three are gathered together, we know that great things are going to take off, right? So when
Yes,
we
they
put
will. Yes.
people in our place that see our vision, and it's not, and keep in mind, people, the vision is not what we see. That's faith, knowing that is going way beyond, right? So when that individual see your vision and really get what you're doing, it really moves forward. So to start something that's immaculate, that's like out of the box, like wow, all plus size, you don't know how this minute will really take off around the world because somebody you start it, someone pick it up and continue this trail. So that's the reason why I was very adamant about, the team. Like thank God for my team, right? Because I'm not expecting to do this by myself. I need a
Yeah.
team because you're going to get tired, you're going to get weary. So when you have a team, people to uplift you and continue to fight, we know it's biblical days, right? We know it's there.
Listen, COVID made me tired, right? COVID
Mhm.
made me tired. COVID made me question. COVID
Yeah,
made me have some uh-oh moments.
yeah.
COVID made me say, has the Plus Struts moment come and gone? Are people still going to
Mhm.
have interest? Or was it just in that moment and it was good and we'll put up everything and figure something else out? And my
Yeah,
team was adamant, absolutely not. They pulled me this time around. We just had Plus
yeah,
Strut 23 in May. They pulled
yeah,
me because I was like, I don't know if this is something we should continue. Let everybody
yeah.
go on and kind of do their own thing. Mind you, these are people that have other things going on, right?
You're
Isn't
right,
just
right,
like
right.
all they have is Plus Strut. People got other stuff going on. And they were like,
Yeah,
Joy, they almost said, how dare you? How
yeah,
dare you want to sort of not give up, but just say, maybe our time has passed. And
right.
thank God they were there. Because
Amen.
it, yeah, it reinvigorated some things even in myself.
Right. So after these messages, we're going to continue to keep talking to Joy about how she continued in after the pandemic. We know the pandemic kind of gave everybody a new start, unwillingly, unwantedly. So, but we're going to talk to Joy. How did she continue the plus strut and continue to bring up that momentum within every plus size woman and beyond? Stay tuned after these messages. Latest news, today's news, current news, gossip news, you name it. I am your host with Coffee with Joy as I share any up-to-date news that's taking place around the world. But if you would like to check it out, please make sure you go to my YouTube channel, Coffee with Joy, where I share the latest topic. I am your host with Coffee with Joy with today's topic. So now we're going to just watch a quick video of how she came back strong with the plus strut.
3, 2, 1.
Absolutely do this race next year, regardless of what your fitness level is or where you think you are. It's a fun race for everybody, and it's so supportive, and have people that's cheering for you has been great. If you're on the fence, I don't know why you're on the fence. It's so amazing. There's nothing but encouragement here. This is the place that you go to. You're not going to feel any negativity. We're all going to be behind you. We're going to make sure you cross that finish line. So don't wait. Sign up today. 2024 is going to be even better.
For the plus strut people, yes, we know 1 minute doesn't tell the whole story, but it gives you just a pinch of what's taking place. It looked like you guys came back strong. So how were you able to make it happen after the pandemic?
Girl, that's a good question. I don't know. Can I be honest? I don't know, but I'm thankful, right? I'm thankful. Right. I think we set a great foundation, to be very honest, prior to the pandemic. I mean, when we told people we were coming back from in 2023, rather, I had so many messages from people that were like, thank God, I was waiting. You know, I signed up before the pandemic. I saw it the year before you all did it. And I was excited to do it in 2020 actually. And then the pandemic happened and I was brokenhearted. So I got so many of those messages. So I think that's what it was. I don't know if it was anything that we really did special. I just think people were anticipating it prior to the pandemic, number one. Number two, I also think that people were ready to get back to life. You know, the pandemic put a halt to a lot of different things. And so I think it gave people an opportunity to touch base again, to get around people again, and to, you know, our small groups and our spaces to touch one another. You know, energy begets energy. And so I believe that, you know, having people matter. And so the anticipation of being around your community, the anticipation of, you know, even meeting some new people. I mean, I still have people that are like, I don't want to do it, but I'm by myself. And we're like, you're never alone at the Plus Strut. You will always, you may leave alone, but you may come alone, but you leave together. I mean, look at all of those. I mean, I just get so overwhelmed, even when I kind of go back and look at footage, you know, about the people that connect. You know, I get messages when the event is coming up again, and they're like, good, because the girl that I met last year, I'm coming back with her this year, you know? And so it just becomes, it creates its own branches, and it just becomes bigger than us. The streams just start to go out. And so I just think maybe setting us a foundation of what, you know, of what the Plus Strut means, and how the women feel when they leave the Plus Strut, when they walk away. I mean, when women cross that finish line, you know, we see so much emotion from them. You know, women are crying. I mean, you saw a woman with you see women with their husbands that are celebrating them. You know, women say, I just never thought I could do it. And so I think when you start to unlock that stuff for people and give them a space to do something, they want that feeling again. I mean, think about the last time you went on vacation, how good it felt. It made you say, look, I can't wait to rebook. Okay. So I think if you create that emotion, you know, in people, you know, that's organic for them, and they want it again.
Wow. So not only do you all walk, run, skip, but you all do other things too to really keep the momentum going, to keep the flow, to keep that energy, to really keep that spark for the next 364 days. Because again, they're coming back. So you only do it
Yeah.
once a year, but they're coming back. So the spark is very igniting and one.
Yeah.
So what do you do outside besides the walking? Because we saw like some yoga, we saw, some people giving away things. Like what are some extra things that you all do outside of that, of the
Yeah,
day
I
of
think
the
we
event?
just try to. Yeah, I just think we try to keep our community engaged. I just think we try to
Hmm.
keep our network really warm, right?
Yeah,
I think we're gonna, again, COVID siphoned a lot of that
yeah.
continual touch points for people, right? And so for
Mhm.
2024, we're gonna get into that a bit more. But to your
Yeah,
point, yeah, we have done. We partner with L'Occitane. I don't know if people know who L'Occitane is, but they are a
mhm.
skincare brand, and
Okay.
we would have small events there, or that because the Plus Strut is not just about walking. It really is about wellness, and wellness isn't just
Yeah,
physical, right? Wellness is emotional. Wellness is mental.
right.
Wellness is self care in other areas, and so sometimes when you tap into other elements of the wellness component, when you feel good, and you
Mhm.
look good. And so we tried to think outside of the box, just outside of just walking and running. What else makes people feel good and smelling good and feeling good and adornment,
Yeah,
and all of those things, make people feel good. So we tapped into those other wellness components to sort of
wow.
keep that interest really warm. And we're planning to do some more of that as we go into 2024.
I think it's phenomenal because not only because a lot of as one may think that hey, I need to go, do yoga or get a massage. Some people look forward to it where okay, I got a little extra money, not knowing that should be a norm, right? We should make sure that we really take care of our body, not just in a one-time event. So showcasing those smaller segments really do help the body to be whole, to really be as one, really showcasing because again, it's like you say, it's not just about the walking, but it's about the emotional being, the spiritual being, and just being around people. Because not in, when you're around people, it really heighten and really, pour into an individual who probably lacks self-esteem, who lack
Yeah.
confidence, or who just don't want to be out. But I know that when I see her who looks like me, it really pulls something out of me. So
Or,
now as
or
we
sometimes there was an event in
yeah,
life, something that happened in life that caused
yeah,
them to shrink, right? The death of
mhm,
somebody or the loss of a job or something. And sometimes you sort of need that outlet to sort of breathe some life back into you. And
yeah.
so we think about that stuff too when it comes to
Wow.
the Plus Strut. So, yeah.
As much as we know it's something grand, it is exciting. What has been some challenges as you know before and after the pandemic, as you're starting with the Plus Strut? What has been your challenge with the Plus Strut in any area?
I think it is, talking to partners about our community. We spoke
Hmm.
about this a little bit in the beginning about our buying power.
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't realize the strength of our community.
Hmm.
I always go back to that particular statistic because the household is pretty much woman led. So if she's the
Right.
majority again, so we have to sort of drop those data points, but it's helping them have a better idea and an
Hmm.
understanding as to who this avatar is, right? Who this
Right.
woman is, her buying power, why wellness. I mean, wellness is a billion-dollar industry in and of itself, right? But then
Yeah.
there's the segmented part of it, that is this particular demographic that you're leaving behind. And so,
Hmm.
I'll say this particular drink company that I've pitched to. And I said to them, I said, listen, you may not think about this woman as your direct consumer, but at 68% of the woman in the population, I can bet you that she's drunk your product. So
Right.
why not allow yourself to have a front facing opportunity to talk to her about some of the things and some of the marketing, components that you all have coming up? Don't miss this opportunity. No, it's
Mhm.
not, the number of people that is at the Boston Marathon, but it
Right.
will be. You just got to
Right.
catch the vision. And so that's what I
Yeah.
share with them. Listen, don't move past us too quickly. Don't
Yeah. Yeah.
over don't let this be an oversight on your
Mhm.
part. Don't let this
Yeah.
be a missed opportunity
Right.
because it doesn't look like what you think it should look like
Hmm.
yet. So I speak to the yet, right? But
Yeah.
that's the challenge, having to
Right.
speak to the yet. of a thing. But I always tell people we will be the Boston Marathon for the plus community. You just gotta wait.
Oh yeah.
You know, the
Yeah.
cake, when you put the cake in the oven, it's not ready in 10 minutes. It's not ready in
Right.
30 minutes. A good pound cake take about hour and 45.
Right.
On the
Right.
stove.
No, that's
So no, but I say that in jest, but really, I mean, you kind of gotta wait to get it where you want to be. So I think those are the challenges: is just to speak to who this woman is, why she's important. Don't see her as an oversight, and how this could be a great front-facing opportunity now and in the future for the products and things and services that you all plan to roll out in the future.
right. That's phenomenal. I wish businesses would, and they probably do. I haven't done the research on it, where they really check their demographic, right? As they do their data and they ascend into descend, right? And it's like, I call it the upside down triangle. We know we selling the product, but who's buying the product? And again, we could get very deep with our disaggregated data. We can break it up. We can tear it down to really see who's buying it. Who do we need to pour into? Because again, you have the finances, right? And of course, everybody want to show they're doing community service or pouring back into the community, but not knowing that we have buying power. And when they able to see that and really see, because again, like you say, the yet is standing there. And we don't know. It may not be you, but God is going to bring the yet for that individual to open that door. But we're going to keep talking to the yet. So if people, when I say people, parentheses, definitely companies would check the data to really see who has buying power, not knowing that within the African American, we do have much buying power. And if they didn't, I know we probably don't do the size, but if they do check the size, they'll probably see that, hey, much women definitely buy the size. Now, how do you incorporate meals into that? Like, how do you showcase the food? Because I know as a plus size woman myself who works out, love working out, but I have a bad habit with the food. It's not like I don't eat bad. Let me tell you, I don't eat bad, but I want to let people know I could go hours because I'm so driven into my work or whatever that may happen. And 8 o'clock becomes 3 o'clock. And the only thing I had was my coffee, probably a yogurt. And I was content, not knowing that my body is craving, is yelling at me silently. So I'm always asking, how do you get on a great eating regimen along with the physical? Because again, we could work out how do we get that proper eating?
So I'm not a dietitian. Let me just start with that, right?
Yes, guys.
That ain't my part, right? That ain't my part. But listen, here's the thing. You can't do everything all at once, right? So I say if food is a nemesis for you, keep doing your food thing.
Yeah.
But add 20 minutes to your walking, right? So create the balance that way. You might not be able to work out and watch your food and cut your hair and do your toenails and do your taxes. Okay, we can't do all of that. So I'm learning, just do one thing at a time. And then as you want to add something, and don't add pressure when you add it. So like you said, you're bad at eating. Cool. All right. So you fumbled the meal on Wednesday night. All right, then Thursday morning. Right? Cool. Wednesday I can't do nothing about it. But Thursday, okay, I'll just have oatmeal and some toast. Right? And then maybe for dinner it will be like, but lunch I'm gonna ball out and get a burger. Like, it's just the balances in life. That's what I tell women when they say I can't do a 5K, I can't do 3 miles. But you can do 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You can do 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you can do a mile typically is about a 20-minute walk. And that's at a 20-minute pace. 20 minutes out of your day. Anything else, we are making excuses, honestly. And it doesn't have to be every day. If you did 20 minutes one time a day, once a week, I'm applauding that. Because maybe 2 weeks ago, you didn't do that at all.
Amen. Yeah. Because we're looking at the progression.
Comes in action. Yeah, the motivation comes in action, not in inaction. Right. And so that's even from my own personal life, So I learned that I'm learning that for myself too. Because people ask me, well, so have you done the 5K? I haven't done my 5K. I can't do mine because I'm too busy making things happen. But I have done others, right? And then adding those things into my daily regimen, right? Keep the steak dangling in front of me too, right?
Amen. Yes. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow Coffee with Joy. After these messages, we're going to continue to talk to Joy on what is the next step for 2024 after these messages.
I've been standing on the outside, looking in, now it's my time. You can tell them that I'm coming for them. God God sent me, ain't no turnaround. And I ain't leaving unless I'm bringing back a soul with me. Like I'm pulling spirits out the ground. I done seen enough to be a witness. And let me show you how I'm living now. And you can tell them that I'm coming. And you can tell them that you ought to know by now the streets ain't really loyal to you.
As you all know, Chucks and Coffee Give Back will be taking place on Sunday, October 15th. That is our nonprofit organization where we definitely pour back into an organization within the DMV. For those who don't know what DMV is, that's the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. And we'll be pouring, part of your proceeds will help benefit the Diva Movement Association, which is an organization that pours back into young ladies and go all the way up to 99 and beyond. So please make sure that you check out our link. And if you'd like to donate, please check out the link after these messages. Now, Joy, so what is the plans for Plus Strut? Yes.
So our plan is, our plan is more of the same and better, right? So more of the same yet better. And so with better, we just want to prune, fine tune, right? Just make the event better. We've got some vision for a few things that we want to add. And so this would be our 4th year. So at year 5, we've got some, I try not to let the cat out the bag too tough, right?
Right.
Because I like the element of surprise. You know, the vision when I was thinking about Plus Strut when the Lord gave it to me is I wanted it to feel like Disney. I don't want people to come into this space. I mean, it's the happiest place on earth, according to Disney, right? Yeah. But it seems like most of us feel that way about it. And so I wanted people to have that feeling when they came in there, the warm and fuzzy, that touch. I wanted it to feel like a really big hug, right? And so I have the visions of making it bigger, having some more touch points, things that women are in our demographic probably have never experienced before. So I've got some stuff up my sleeve. My team, they like to harness me and point because they're like, girl, how in the world are we going to do that? And I'm like, it's impossible because we haven't done it yet. But just keep riding with me. I mean, we thought that the Plus Strut was impossible, and here we are, going into year 4. So I got some stuff that I'm thinking about. And I'll just let those things unfold. I smile because I think about my team's qualified resistance, right? There's things that they're like, girl, we can't do that. And I'm like, yes, we can. So me being the visionary, I'm big picture. And they like to kind of peel me back. I will say this. One of the things that I would love to have, and again, this is one of the restricted, like, come back. But I want Plus Strut on the water. That's all I'll say. Don't know the when or the where. I've been having some conversation with some other event organizers and race directors that I know. But I think I would love to have Plus Strut on the water. And I'll leave it at that.
And it's possible. Now, have you thought about going to different cities?
I knew that was coming, Joy. I knew that was coming, Joy.
Because, DC would love to have a Plus Strut.
But would it though? Would you love it though, Joy? Would you though?
I would love it, Joy. I would love
it. So listen, I get that far, probably more than I like. I'm like, listen, leave me alone. We in the ATL, home of the chick, home of the cornbread fan. Leave me alone. But no, people want us to take this all over the country.
I'll help. I'll be ambassador. Oh, right here.
Listen, I'm you might want to put your hand because I'm known for putting jokers to work.
Let's do this. Hey, I'm here for change.
You be like, girl, I said yes, but you wearing me out now.
No.
No. I mean, we've thought of it. We've thought about it. What we feel like is more important than that, though, is to just make sure we maintain our foundation, right? Headquarters has got to be. There's some numbers that we want to hit, right, in terms of participants, right? And so right now we think it's important to not make too many adjustments because, sometimes you can expand too quickly and then you lose the momentum, right? Or you lose some of the richness of what the idea was supposed to be, right? And so that is important to me. It's really important to me to make sure we maintain our mission and vision. And then the other part about it is, Atlanta is a booming metropolis, right? It's not Idaho. And shout out to everybody in Idaho. What's up? Right. But, Atlanta is a booming metropolis, right? And so we believe that, our visitors bureaus, and all of those things would love to have the people come and experience all of the beautiful things that Atlanta has to offer. So for now, the headquarters for the Plus Strut is ATL.
Okay.
But again, like I mentioned, Plus Strut on the Water might take us outside of Georgia. So if we ever do something outside of Atlanta, that would probably be the first thing that we do, where we sort of make it a destination run. I am really doing a lot of talking that my team will be like, oh, so you want us to be quiet, but here you are all on the podcast talking loud. Right, I know. Right?
Yes.
But again, we'll see. But those are things that I'd love to do. But that would probably be the first thing that we did. But people want us in DC. You're not the first DCer that's like, what's up? What's going on? California wants us. Texas wants us. New York wants us. But we tell y'all, come on to the A. Come on and let's gather.
Yeah, we'll be there. Yes.
The heartbeat of the civil rights movement is here in Atlanta. So come on down.
Yes.
Come down to Wakanda.
Yes.
So let me be clear though, right? We are not just an organization catered to the African American community. Let me be very clear about that. And here's the why: because 68% of the women in the country aren't just Black, right? Plus size hits every demographic. Our Caucasian brothers and sisters, Latinx, our Asian brothers and sisters, it runs the gamut. And so we want to be an inclusive space, right? So we're not excluding anyone, because plus size hits everyone. So find your community within ours and bring the troops down. So I do want to make that clear. Just because we are African American led does not mean that we are only speaking to the African American demographic, because we've got people that fit our demo and love our community outside of the African American demographic.
So Nation's Capital, we're on hold. Stay tuned. But we are going to Atlanta 2024.
It's a quick flight. It's an hour and a half. Come on, DMV, an hour and a half. Here's the thing, though. We've had women come from the DMV. We've had women come from California. We've had women come from Florida and Bermuda and Chicago. So they do come. They definitely come. So we are not strangers to our out-of-towners coming, and we create a host hotel for you like we do. We run the whole gamut. We really make it a great experience. So yeah, come on, DMV. Come on down.
So I'm adding to the come. So I'll be the other part. So myself and other people will be coming. So Joy, you do so much. Of course, you wear I love the hat, of course. What is one thing, your quote or something that you live by that really keeps you going, that keeps you moving across everything that you do, like your mantra, that if anybody were to listen, like, man, she wears so many hats. How does she keep it all together?
So this one is stolen that I'm getting ready to share with you. And this is not my quote. I don't even know if I should be stating this quote. But when it was shared with me about the urgency of sharing our gifts with the world, and the person was specifically speaking with me, they told me that lives were on the line.
Wow.
And the reason why that connected with me so much is because I've always told the Lord, God, I don't want to leave this earth without making sure that I deliver to the people that I'm assigned to, what I'm supposed to give them. And like I said, I don't know if I'm supposed to be sharing that, but it struck me, and it really sort of buttoned up that thought and my prayer back to the Lord. So really, lives are on the line. So I got to do the work.
Yeah.
No matter how tired, no matter how, uncertain, no matter how much, my faith is challenged, gotta do the work.
Amen. Amen. So the work got to get done, people. The work got to get done. Thank you. Thank you once again, Joy. Thank you for being on Coffee with Joy. I truly, truly appreciate it. It's such a blessing to have you on the show. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow Coffee with Joy. And if you would like to monetize or like to patronize our show, please make sure you follow either link, Cash App, or PayPal. We also have Zelle, but make sure that you follow Any amount would do. We're so ever grateful and thankful. And stay tuned for our next guest, as we will have Patrick as what's really in the great meal, as we talk about something that's really great. And as you all know, keep in mind, if it's a weekday, it is Coffee with Joy. Until then, you all live life on purpose and stay blessed. Have a good night.
We kick it like no